The day Sophia and her dream guy got engaged, she booked me a one-way ticket to the Southwest. "Go see the world, Leo," she said. "Stop clinging to me all the time." I just nodded obediently. Okay. After I got on the plane, one of her friends asked her, "What if Leo doesn't come back?" Sophia just scoffed. "You think that's even a possibility?" Her friends all burst out laughing. "Right? Leo's so whipped. He's in love with Sophia down to his bones. How could he ever bear to leave and not come back?" But they didn't know. I really never went back. I vanished from Sophia's world completely. Later, travel-worn and exhausted, Sophia found me. "Leo, come home with me." But before I could even say a word, an arm wrapped tightly around my waist from behind, staking a claim. "In your dreams." I was just coming in the door after dropping off a package. Sophia and William were coming down the stairs. I don't know what they were talking about, but the smiles on their faces were sweet enough to make anyone jealous. "Leo, wait a second. I need to talk to you," Sophia called out as I tried to slip past them. I looked at her. "What is it?" My tone was as flat as if I were talking to a stranger. Sophia flinched for a second but didn't seem to think much of it. She walked over to me, holding William's hand. "William and I are getting engaged." She paused, looking like she was struggling with how to say what came next. It wasn't until William tugged impatiently on her sleeve that Sophia finally continued. "I bought you a plane ticket to the Southwest. Go have some fun for a few days. Come back when you're done." Then she looked at me again, her brow furrowed in a serious, thoughtful expression. "You're a grown-up now. You should go see more of the world. Stop clinging to me." In the past, when she'd said things like that, I always thought she was joking. Now I realized she'd meant every word. Sophia must have been completely fed up with me to ship me off so far away during her engagement. I lowered my eyes and mumbled, "Okay." Satisfied, Sophia and William left. I went upstairs alone. The room felt empty. There was nothing left but a few changes of clothes. I'd started packing my things the day William came back. I was the adopted son of the Davis family. When we were younger, Sophia and I had even had a thing. There was no way William would ever tolerate me being around. The day I left for the Southwest, the sun made a rare appearance in rainy Seattle. It was as if it were celebrating Sophia finally getting rid of me, or maybe celebrating me running toward a new life. Probably to avoid any awkwardness, Sophia had her friends drive me to the airport. The whole way there, I just stared silently out the window. Sophia took my silence as a form of protest. She frowned at me. "Leo, are you still sulking?" I glanced over at her, confused. Why would she think that? I was going to the Southwest without a fight. What more did she want from me? The question in my eyes must have been too obvious, because Sophia's frown deepened. "Sophia." I wanted to say something, but she cut me off before I could start. "Leo, call me sis from now on. William doesn't like it when you use my name." I froze. William was petty enough to care about that? But under Sophia's piercing gaze, I changed my wording. "Sis." For some reason, though, her expression only got uglier. We arrived at the airport quickly. Just before I went inside, Sophia suddenly called out, "Leo." I turned to look at her. She was standing in the light, and the dappled shadows made it hard to see her face clearly. "Come back soon," she said. I just smiled, pretending I hadn't heard her. I gave her a wave and walked into the terminal. Once Leo was inside the airport, a wave of irritation washed over Sophia. She lit a cigarette, watching through the glass as his back got smaller and smaller until he disappeared from view. "Hey Sophia, what do you think will happen if Leo just doesn't come back?" joked the friend she'd roped into driving. Sophia scoffed. "You think that's even a possibility?" Her words reminded her friends of all the ways Leo had acted before, and they all started laughing. True, Leo is a total simp for Sophia. He's in love with her down to his bones. He'd never leave her for good. Totally. I bet he's hiding somewhere we can't see, crying his eyes out right now. Well, crying won't help. Sophia's getting engaged tomorrow. From now on, William's our brother-in-law. Sophia stubbed out her cigarette. The nicotine did nothing to calm the restlessness inside her. The noisy chatter from her friends only pushed her frustration to its peak. Enough, she said, her voice cold. She didn't like them talking about William, and she liked them talking about Leo even less. Seattle is a long way from the Southwest. The flight took a full 6 hours. Sophia had only bought me the ticket, she hadn't made any other arrangements. Luckily, I'd contacted a local guide ahead of time. After searching around the arrivals hall, I finally spotted her in a corner, holding a sign with my name on it. As I got closer, I realized the guide was a young woman. She was tall and lean, dressed in a black and white technical jacket that made her look sharp and capable. She was leaning casually against the wall, talking on the phone with a hint of annoyance in her expression. I stopped a few feet away, not wanting to interrupt. 10 minutes later, the woman ended the call with a curt, "I'm not going." She shoved the phone in her pocket, and her eyes met mine. The coldness hadn't quite faded from her brow. To avoid any confusion, I cleared my throat and pointed to the sign in her hand. "I'm Leo. You were on the phone, so I didn't want to bother you." She paused for a moment before lowering the sign and taking my suitcase. Then she extended her hand. Iman. I shook it lightly. "Nice to meet you, Ms. Lin." After a simple greeting, Anna and I got in the car. She was a great driver, and I barely felt any bumps on the road. The long journey had exhausted me, and I leaned against the window and drifted off. As I slept, I dreamed of a past I hadn't thought about in a long time. In the dream, I had just been adopted by the Davis family. I followed nervously behind Sophia's mom. She tried to take my hand, but I pulled away. She called for Sophia. Back then, she was still just a sweet, innocent girl. Sophia found me in the garden. She held out her hand to me. "My name is Sophia. Don't be afraid. I'll protect you from now on." Her gentleness disarmed me, and I slowly took her hand. After that, we did everything together: ate, slept, studied. No one could bully me. Sophia's mom once teased us at the dinner table. "You silly girl. Did I bring home a little brother for you? Or a husband?" By then, we were both teenagers, and there was a hazy sort of romance between us. But neither of us had ever dared to cross that line, until her mom's joke broke the tension. That night, Sophia snuck into my room and hugged me tightly. "Leo, let's be together. Okay?" I blushed and whispered, "Okay." And just like that, Sophia and I started dating in secret. I thought we would go on like that forever. But then she went to study abroad, and when she came back, William was with her. She introduced me to him. "This is my brother, Leo." "Brother?" I looked at her, a bitter taste in my mouth, but her eyes never left William. I confronted her later. "Why would you do this to me?" She just said lightly, "That was just teenage hormones acting up." "I don't love you, Leo. Sophia doesn't love me." That was the first time I truly felt it, deep in my bones. She really didn't love me. But what could I do? She already had William. Could I really win her back? Yes. Fate gave me a chance to win her back. She and William broke up. For reasons no one knew, they broke up. Sophia was miserable for a long time, and I stayed by her side through it all. Finally, one night after she'd been drinking, she hugged me. "Leo, let's be together." I agreed. Sophia lifted her head and kissed me. A long, deep kiss. When she tried to take things further, I pushed her away. She collapsed onto the bed, drunk, mumbling his name. "William, William." My heart felt like it had been sliced into 1,000 pieces on an Arctic ice field, shattered and cold. The scene in my dream shifted. Sophia was telling me excitedly, "William's back." I looked down. "Are you going to go find him?" Her face stiffened for a moment. "Leo, you know I've always been in love with William." "And what about me?" I asked. "Am I still just your brother?" Sophia nodded uncomfortably. I lowered my gaze and let out a soft, bitter laugh. "Oh, Sophia." She was no longer the girl who promised to protect me. I don't know how long I slept. When I woke up, Anna's car was parked steadily in a lot. Outside, the lights were bright and the air was filled with the buzz of people. Sorry, I fell asleep. Anna didn't say anything, just handed me a tissue. I looked at her, confused, not understanding why. Tears. I touched my cheek and found it was wet. Embarrassed, I took the tissue, wiped my face clumsily, and hurried out of the car. Losing my composure like that in front of a stranger was mortifying. "Mr. Smith, wait." Anna called after me. I turned back, surprised. "I didn't think we had any plans for today. I'll take you to get something to eat." Her voice was soft, like a gentle breeze that instantly soothed my awkwardness. "Okay." Anna took me to a local restaurant that specialized in regional cuisine. I rested my chin on my hand and looked around. The decor wasn't fancy, but it was comfortable. It felt surprisingly nice. My gaze shifted back to Anna. She was looking down at her phone, her long fingers swiping across the screen, her delicate brow slightly furrowed. She only locked her phone when the waiter brought our food. "If you have something to do, I can eat by myself." Anna glanced at me and suddenly smiled. "Are you always this considerate? I just don't feel comfortable eating with strangers, and I was worried she might actually have something important to deal with." "What's all this about being considerate?" I looked down and took a sip of soup, avoiding her eyes. The corner of Anna's mouth curved up slightly. This Mr. Smith seemed a bit hard to get along with. The restaurant wasn't far from the hotel Anna had booked. I followed silently behind her. She was tall and walked quickly. The leather shoes I was wearing were starting to chafe, and it was uncomfortable to walk fast, so I gradually fell behind. These shoes were definitely not made for travel. I wasn't paying attention and tripped on a rock, twisting my ankle. Just my luck. I leaned against a parked car and tried to hobble forward, but the sharp pain shooting up from my ankle made me wince. I stopped, looking down at my already swelling ankle, unsure of what to do. "What's wrong?" a cool voice asked from above me. "My ankle," I twisted it. "Can you still walk?" Anna asked. I shook my head. Anna was silent for a moment, then patted her own shoulder. "Come on, I'll help you." "Huh?" I hesitated, but the pain in my ankle left me no choice. I wrapped my arm around her neck, shifted my weight onto her, and instinctively tightened my grip. "Don't worry, I won't let you fall." "That's not what I meant." Anna didn't say anything else. She supported me firmly and walked forward with steady steps, her breathing even, as if my weight was nothing to her. I snuck glances at her. Her smooth forehead, bright eyes, and the elegant line of her jaw were so beautiful it was almost unfair. Sophia seemed to pale in comparison. It wasn't that Sophia wasn't pretty, they just had different styles. Sophia was the pampered, brilliant beauty of a greenhouse flower. Anna, on the other hand, had the quiet strength and resilience of someone who had weathered storms. It was a strange feeling she didn't look that much older than me. "Mr. Smith, do you like what you see?" Her tone was serious, her expression deadpan. But for some reason, I suddenly smiled. Looking at her profile, I answered earnestly, "Yes, I do." Anna stopped walking and looked down at me. I was looking up at her. And compared to Sophia, I was stunned. "You know Sophia? In the car, you said her name in your sleep. Is she the one you love? The one I love?" "Not anymore." I didn't love Sophia anymore. Maybe I once felt unwilling to let go. But now, there wasn't a shred of affection left. No. My voice was low and firm. It felt as if the shackles around my heart had shattered along with that word. Anna raised an eyebrow. "So much pain, and she's not the one you love?" I was crying over the foolishness of my youth. Anna didn't comment, just started walking again. After getting me to my room, Anna went back downstairs to get my luggage. When she brought it up, she was also carrying a small first aid kit. I looked at the kit and raised my eyebrows. "Are you always this considerate, Ms. Lin?" Anna opened the kit. "Not nearly as considerate as you, Mr. Smith." "Ha! You really can't judge a book by its cover." "She looks quiet, but her tongue is as sharp as a razor." I rolled my eyes, grabbed a pillow, and leaned back on the sofa to check my phone. As soon as I unlocked it, unread messages flooded the screen. It was Sophia's friends congratulating her in the group chat on her engagement. I copied the message and sent "Congratulations on your engagement" as well. The chat was moving so fast that my message was quickly buried in the flood of new ones. Since I wasn't going back, there didn't seem to be any point in staying in the group. Besides, most of the people in it were Sophia's friends. I left the group chat. My phone rang unexpectedly. It was Sophia. "Leo, why did you leave the group? Are you still mad?" It was noisy on her end, she probably wasn't home. I looked down, my fingers unconsciously fiddling with the hem of my shirt. Did Sophia still think I was angry about her engagement? Is there anything else? I'm a little tired. Sophia was quiet for a moment before speaking again. Get some rest. Just as I was about to hang up, her voice came through again. Wait, what else is there? Even at this point, Sophia still had more to say to me. Come back soon. I hung up the phone with a sarcastic laugh. She was the one who bought me a ticket to the Southwest because she was worried I'd ruin her engagement party, and now she was telling me to come back soon. Did Sophia not hear how contradictory she sounded? I tossed my phone onto the sofa and looked out the window at the glittering city lights, which were beautiful enough to make me lose myself for a moment. Was that Sophia? Hearing the voice, I whipped my head around. Why are you still here? Anna sprayed some pain relief medication on my ankle. Mr. Smith, you can't just burn the bridge after you've crossed it. Why was she still here? Did she see my whole pathetic, melodramatic moment just now? Anna knelt on the carpet, lifted my ankle, and, to my surprise, began rubbing it firmly. The pain was so intense my face contorted. Stop, stop. But no matter how much I protested, she completely ignored me. If I don't work this out, you won't be able to walk tomorrow. Anna's grip gradually softened, and I breathed a small sigh of relief. She massaged it for a while. I tried moving my ankle, and sure enough, it didn't hurt as much. I couldn't tell if it was her medicine or her massage that did the trick. Anna stood up to pack the first aid kit. Watching her back, I felt a flicker of curiosity. Ms. Lin, are you a legitimate guide? Massaging a male tourist's ankle in the middle of the night, it all seemed a bit strange. Anna closed the kit, turned to face me, and a strange smile played on her lips. Mr. Smith, if you're looking for some special services, I can provide those too. But what? I asked. Not because I actually wanted any special services, but because I was genuinely curious. Anna let out a soft scoff, her smile vanishing. It'll cost you extra. I was speechless. Such a practical, straightforward demand. Anna picked up the first aid kit and started to leave. I grabbed the corner of her jacket. Looking up at her, I said, Ms. Lin, I'll pay extra. I can't remember who started it. By the time I snapped back to reality, Anna was on my bed. How did things end up like this? I was just joking, but before I could explain, Anna had grabbed my wrist and kissed me. And now, I stared at Anna in a daze. She stood by the bed, slowly unbuttoning her shirt. Her expression so dignified you'd never guess what she was about to do. Anna, I was kidding. Her gaze was intense, like a leopardess stalking its prey. Mr. Smith, goods once sold are non-refundable. Anna took my phone and transferred $1 to herself. This is a forced sale. Anna didn't say anything more. Her tall frame hovered over me, her hands planted on either side of my head as she looked down at me. Mr. Smith, weren't you enjoying it just a moment ago? She didn't wait for my answer. Her hot kisses fell like rain. My consciousness started to fade. She was right. I think I really was enjoying it. The sky outside was completely dark. A single, dim wall lamp cast a soft glow, filling the room with an undeniable, intimate ambience. When I woke up, the sun was already bright. Anna wasn't in the room, and I breathed a sigh of relief. Given how absurd last night was, I wasn't sure how to face her just yet. I grabbed my phone. My social feed was filled with live updates from Sophia's engagement party. There was also a message from Sophia. Leo, I'm getting engaged today. In a few days, William and I will come to the Southwest to bring you home. She and William were coming here? What kind of game was this? Were they coming to rub their happiness in my face? But I didn't want them to bother me. What should I do? I stared blankly at the ceiling. Get up and eat. Anna opened the door and walked in. She was still wearing yesterday's black and white jacket, looking as sharp and poised as ever. But for some reason, the moment she entered, the lingering, hazy atmosphere from last night seemed to fill the room again. I awkwardly threw off the covers. As my feet touched the floor, a hand steadied me and guided me to the sofa. Thanks, I said softly. Anna's lips curved into a slight smile. For what? I caused this, so of course I'm responsible. The implication was clear. I cleared my throat and looked at her. Ms. Lin, just think of last night as a fling. Forget about it. Anna's eyes locked onto mine. A fling? I nodded. I must have lost my mind last night to have just tumbled into bed with her like that. What's done is done, there's no point in regretting it. The real problem was how I was supposed to interact with Anna from now on. Anna let out a cold laugh. Mr. Smith, are you trying to shirk your responsibility? I looked at her, confused. What was she talking about? She continued, last night was my first time. I bit my lip. Mine too. Don't talk like I took some huge advantage of her. Anna's expression softened. I can take responsibility. I frowned at her, not quite understanding what she meant. Take responsibility? For what? Marriage? She wanted to marry someone she'd known for only a day? It was just a one-night stand that we both wanted. Why did she have to make things so complicated? Ms. Lin, I hope our relationship ends here. I still have a week left in the Southwest, and I hope we can spend that time peacefully, without crossing any more lines. Perhaps my sudden coldness was too abrupt. I watched as Anna's expression turned colder and colder. As you wish. For the next few days, the relationship between Anna and me returned to what it should have been. I was the tourist and she was the guide. Over 7 days, she showed me all the beautiful sights of the Southwest. My time was almost up, and I needed to move on to my next destination. As I was getting out of the car, Anna stopped me. Where are you heading next? My hand paused on the door handle. This was the first time in days that Anna had initiated a conversation with me. Since this was the last time we'd see each other, I might as well talk. With that thought, I settled back into the passenger seat. I don't know yet. Maybe Montana, maybe somewhere else. Do you need me to take you to the airport? I shook my head. I might just hitch a ride. Anna didn't say anything else. I got out of the car, and she followed silently behind me. As I stepped into my room, I turned back and smiled at her. Anna, goodbye. Anna looked up at me, her eyes filled with an emotion I couldn't read. I want to come in. Her words were abrupt. I froze. Before I could refuse, she swiftly pulled me into the room. Bang! The door slammed shut. Anna trapped me between herself and the door. What are you? Before I could finish, Anna leaned in and kissed me deeply in the darkness. The deliberate distance we had maintained for days vanished in that instant. In the dark, her breathing grew heavier, losing its usual composure. Anna, I murmured her name. The bed was just a few feet away, but she insisted on holding me tight against her. With no support, no anchor, I felt like a piece of driftwood tossed about by the waves, eventually disappearing into the sea. Just before I lost consciousness, I heard Anna whisper in my ear, Leo, I like you. Like, a like born from lust? I didn't believe it. In the private room, Sophia listlessly fiddled with her phone. Leo hadn't replied to her messages in a long time. Was he still angry? Sophia lit a cigarette but then remembered that Leo couldn't stand the smell of smoke. If he caught a whiff of it, he'd surely lecture her. Forget it. I won't smoke. Sophia stubbed out the freshly lit cigarette in the ashtray. Something on your mind, Sophia? A friend asked, sidling up to her. What could she possibly have to worry about? She's got a handsome fiancé and a great career. She's basically won at life. I bet she's thinking about Leo. At the mention of Leo's name, the lively atmosphere in the room suddenly went quiet. They all realized it had been a long time since Leo had joined any of their gatherings. Hasn't Leo come back yet? It had been almost a week since Sophia's engagement party. You don't think he's not coming back, do you? No way. Why not? Besides the time Sophia was studying abroad, when has Leo ever been away from her for this long? The room filled with noisy debate, and Sophia's expression grew darker. She took her phone and stepped out of the room. The last message in her chat with Leo was from the day of her engagement. She had told him she would come to the Southwest to pick him up. Leo hadn't replied. There was no news from him on his social feed either. Sophia felt a growing sense of unease. She stared at her phone for a long time before finally turning off the screen. I'll just wait a little longer. She would bring Leo home. The scenery flew by outside the window. I still felt dazed. The woman beside me had woken me up at the crack of dawn and unceremoniously shoved me into her car. We'd been driving for 2 hours, but I still had no idea where Anna was taking me. Where are you taking me? To Montana. What are you going to Montana for? Anna glanced at me. Isn't that where you wanted to go? I wanted to go by myself. Not with you. What is even happening? It took Anna 5 hours to drive me from the southwest to a small town in Montana. As the car turned onto a country road, the scenery became more and more beautiful. Where is this? I asked. Crestwood. Does this place mean something special to you? Why did we have to come here? This is my home. Huh? What did she just say? Her home? I didn't mishear that, did I? The car stopped in front of a house. Anna unbuckled her seatbelt and got out. A moment later, the passenger door opened. Get out. We're here. I know we're here. But can you tell me what we're doing here? Seeing my hesitation, Anna smiled. No one's home. The scenery here is even better than the southwest. After we eat, I'll show you around. I reluctantly got out of the car. Anna opened the door, and sure enough, the house was empty. I breathed a sigh of relief. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I would have had no way to explain my relationship with Anna. But what is happening now? I just took a short nap in the afternoon. When I woke up, there was a smiling woman standing by my bed. Young man, you must be Anna's boyfriend, right? The smiling woman asked. I don't know Anna. I was completely baffled. Who was Anna? Wait, did she mean the Anna I knew? Oh, that's her nickname. Anna's nickname is Anna? She actually has such a cute name. I held back a laugh and looked at the woman. I'm not her boyfriend. I'm her client. That's probably accurate. A client? Are you here for a tour? I nodded. The woman's face twisted. That brat. I told her to come home for a blind date, and she said she had a boyfriend. Turns out she was just trying to fool me. Then she looked at me with a smile again. Don't be scared, young man. Just make yourself at home. I nodded numbly. This must be Anna's mom. Did I just ruin her plan? Damn it. Where on earth did Anna go? I didn't see Anna all afternoon. She didn't saunter in from outside until evening. My nerves, which had been on edge all afternoon, finally started to relax. Anna, hurry up and take this platter of lamb outside. We have guests coming soon. Anna's mom ordered her around without a second thought the moment she walked in. I tried to help, but her mom stopped me. Leo, you're a guest. Just sit and relax. Let that little liar do the work. Anna snorted at her mom. When did I lie to you? That was the wrong thing to say. Her mom's temper flared up again. She pointed at me. Leo said it himself. He's just your client. Anna's eyes flicked over to me, then back to her mom. So what? Her mom grabbed a nearby feather duster. So what? Did you forget what you told me? I told you to come home for a blind date, and you said you had a boyfriend. So where is he? In your dreams? I swallowed hard. Her mom's fighting spirit was something else. I had to hand it to her. She didn't even spare her own daughter's feelings. Don't think that just because your business is doing well, I won't dare to spank you. As she raised the feather duster to strike Anna, I quickly stepped in front of her. Ma'am, please calm down. Sage, she didn't mean it. I had no idea how to handle this situation. Back at the Davis house, I had never seen Sophia's mom get angry. She was a gentle person. Even when Sophia made her mad, she would just cut off her allowance. Faced with such a down-to-earth mother like this one, I was truly at a loss. Fortunately, her mom showed me some respect. She reluctantly lowered the feather duster. If it weren't for Leo being here, you think I wouldn't give you a good spanking? Anna's mom carried the platter of lamb outside. I let out a long sigh of relief. That was terrifying. But before I could catch my breath, Anna grabbed my wrist and pulled me into a room. Anna, what are you doing? I hissed at her in a low voice. Anna pinned me in her arms. You told my mom you were my client? Am I not? I struggled out of her embrace. She's insane. The living room is right outside the door, and her mom could come back at any moment. What is she thinking? What kind of client is worth me sleeping with? I quickly reached up to cover her mouth. What are you talking about? My face flushed with panic, and I didn't realize how close we were standing. Her gaze grew hotter. I looked at her in disbelief. You're crazy. She wasn't crazy. Anna leaned in close to my ear, her soft kisses trailing down my neck. Tickled, and I instinctively flinched. Don't move. I froze, not daring to move a muscle. Even though we had been intimate before, I still felt uneasy facing this side of her. Luckily, Anna didn't lose control. After a few minutes, she let me go. I scrambled to open the door and fled without a second glance. Anna's mom had prepared a lot of beef and lamb in the yard for the guests. I asked her if it was for an important occasion. She said, Anna hasn't been home in a long time. I wanted to take this chance to get her engagement settled. So Anna was having a blind date tonight. No wonder her mom had prepared so much. I quietly went back to my seat. The guests started arriving one by one. At the back of the crowd, I saw a man in a red shirt. That must be Anna's blind date. My heart suddenly fluttered. I lowered my head and took a sip of water. What was happening to me? Did I actually develop feelings for Anna after sleeping with her? My eyes unconsciously followed the man in the red shirt. He was tall, with strong features, a handsome man. I was completely captivated. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was Sophia. I frowned and went inside the house. Leo, Sophia's tired voice said through the phone. I didn't say anything, waiting for her to continue. When are you coming back? I miss you. No one was inside, so I sat down on the sofa. Sophia's words had no effect on me. She was always like this. Whenever she hit a rough patch with William, she would come to me for comfort. Did she really think I would wait for her forever? But thinking of her mother, I couldn't bring myself to say those words out loud. Sophia, before I left, I had my name removed from the Davis family registry. I'm going to find a nice place to settle down. I'm not coming back. Sophia, on the other end of the line, seemed stunned. She couldn't believe Leo would just leave like that. She had practically raised him since they were kids. How could he abandon her? Leo, you're just angry, aren't you? I won't get engaged to William. Please come back. Okay? I sighed softly. Sophia would never understand that the problem between us was her, not William. She was the one who enjoyed William's company while also craving my affection. Since she chose someone else, what was there to regret now? Sophia, there's no future for us. Sophia was silent for a long time, as if she was finally realizing that I would no longer be a part of her life. Finally, she asked in a low voice, Leo, did you ever love me? I was taken aback. I didn't expect Sophia to ask that. Just as I was about to answer, Anna walked out from an inner room. The words caught in my throat. Leo, did you ever love me? Sophia pressed, insistent on an answer. And there, standing in front of me, was Anna. Her eyes were fixed on me. I avoided her gaze and said softly, I did. When we were young, she had genuinely protected me. How could I not have fallen for her? But in the end, when I looked up again, all I saw was Anna's retreating back. I sat on the sofa for a little while longer. It wasn't until Anna's mom announced that dinner was ready that I went back out to the yard. A bonfire had been lit in the center of the yard. The air was filled with smoke and lively chatter. Someone was sitting in my old spot, so I found a new, quiet corner to sit in. I wasn't the main character tonight anyway. I took a quiet sip of my milk tea. Suddenly, the sound of a guitar filled the air. I looked toward the source of the music and saw the man in the red shirt playing a guitar and singing in the middle of the yard. His voice was powerful and bold, and even as a man, I found myself admiring him. I heard Susan set Anna up with Sean. Really? When did that happen? Why do you think Susan invited everyone over today? She wants to lock Sean down for Anna today, otherwise Anna will just run off again. I was listening intently, but the whispers around me threw my thoughts into chaos. The atmosphere in the yard grew more and more festive, and I started to feel out of place. When no one was looking, I slipped out of the yard. The sky was completely dark now. I walked aimlessly along the road. I don't know how long I walked, but under the dim moonlight, a meadow appeared out of nowhere. I lay down on the grass, staring at the crescent moon, my mind a jumble of thoughts. If Anna got engaged, my presence would probably be a problem for Sean, just like how William used to mind my presence. I wanted to leave. I opened a booking app, but I didn't even know where I was going next. My finger scrolled up and down the screen, searching for possible destinations. In a daze, the phone was snatched from my hand. I sat up and looked at the person who had appeared. "Why are you out here?" Anna glanced at my phone. The screen was still on the booking page. "You're leaving?" I nodded. "Why?" I looked at her, surprised. "You're getting engaged. It wouldn't be right for me to stay here, would it? Besides, I was just here for fun. I have to leave eventually." "When did I get engaged?" "From the very beginning, you were the one I liked." "Leo, can you please just look at me?" Anna pinched the bridge of her nose. She had been busy with work all afternoon and had rushed back as soon as she was done. She thought I would understand, but instead, I had accused her of getting engaged and was planning to leave. In the darkness, under the moonlight, she stood there in a thin shirt. A cold wind blew past, making her look incredibly lonely. I looked at her, and a strange feeling welled up inside me. Does she really like me that much? But why? We've only known each other for 10 days at most. "Leo, you can't do this. You can't make me fall in love with you and then just abandon me without a second thought." Anna stood just a few feet away, watching me quietly. Perhaps it was the moonlight, but she seemed to be shrouded in an aura of sorrow, as if she had been abandoned. You just said you were going to leave me. Leo, look at me, please. I heard your mom say you were getting engaged. I was worried my being here would cause problems for you, Before I could finish, Anna pulled me into her arms. "So, Leo, you don't really want to leave, do you? My feelings for you aren't one-sided, are they?" "No." I buried my face in her embrace, the fresh, grassy scent of her filling my senses. It was a feeling of contentment, of peace. I wrapped my arms around her waist. We had found each other, and this time we weren't going to miss our chance. I bought a house with a yard in Montana. Anna had asked me to move in with her. I said no, because I wanted a home of my own. My little yard was designed by Anna herself. That's right, Anna is a designer. The kind of world-renowned master designer who has won international awards. When she first offered to design my yard, I was skeptical, until she very casually pulled out a stack of award certificates. I was stunned. "You're such a big shot designer," I asked. "So why were you moonlighting as a local guide?" She gave me a super strange smile and said, "You guess." I rolled my eyes, not wanting to play along. But then she wrapped her arms around me from behind and teased me for a while before finally explaining. "Did you ever realize that when you tried to add my contact info, you typed the number wrong?" I froze. I had found the guide online. It was late, so instead of calling, I had added her contact information to confirm the trip. "Why didn't you turn me down?" I asked, curious. Anna pulled me into her arms. "Because of your profile picture." "What's wrong with my profile picture?" "That was one of my designs." I figured, since it was such a coincidence, I might as well play along and be your host for a bit. I was speechless. So this whole thing started because of a ridiculous mix-up. The yard was finally finished around the new year. Anna moved in with me. Before moving in, she told me with a completely straight face, "I am now your personal property. Wherever you go, I go." I had no words. Today, the weather in Montana was unusually beautiful. I convinced Anna to help me move a lounge chair into the yard. I settled comfortably into the rocking chair, and Anna draped a blanket over me. "Go on, get back to work. I'm just going to soak up some sun," I said, shooing her back into the house. The sun was perfect, and I was so comfortable I was about to doze off. The bell on the yard gate chimed. A visitor. I didn't pay it much mind. Ever since we moved in, neighbors would often drop off fruits and vegetables, usually just leaving them and going. But this time, I opened my eyes. Sophia? I hadn't seen her in 6 months, and now she had somehow found her way to Montana. I sat up in shock. "What are you doing here?" Sophia had dark circles under her eyes and looked haggard. "Leo, William, and I broke off the engagement." I frowned at her. "You didn't come all the way to Montana just to tell me that, did you?" "Leo, I was wrong. Please come back with me." Sophia was starting to lose control. She had thought she loved William, but when Leo was truly gone, she finally understood the pain of realizing something too late. "Leo, you still love me, don't you?" Let's start over, okay? Her voice was so humble, a world away from the confident, vibrant woman she used to be. I looked at her and chuckled. What made her think we could just start over? As she stared at me in shock, I threw off the blanket and stood up. Without a word, I turned and held my hand out toward the house. Anna walked out, came to my side, and naturally placed her hand in mine. Holding her hand, I turned back to face Sophia. Then, I gently placed my other hand on Anna's stomach. We already have. You too. Her eyes were glued to my hand, then shot to Anna's stomach. She's pregnant? Sophia stumbled backward. She couldn't believe it. She had made one wrong move, and her Leo had completely shut her out. I gently pulled Anna into my arms. The babies in her belly were only 3 months along, twins, the doctor had said, so she was already starting to show. When we first found out, I held Anna, too excited to speak. Finally, I had relatives in this world who shared my blood. I looked up at the stunned Sophia and said, I don't love you anymore, Sophia. Leave this place and don't come back. I don't believe you, Leo. You're lying, right? Please come home with me, okay? I shook my head, surprised at how stubborn Sophia had become. Just as I was about to speak again, Anna looked up from my arms, her gaze fixed on Sophia, her voice cold but firm. In your dreams, Anna's presence, and the fact that we were about to become parents, completely broke Sophia. She collapsed to the ground, looking like she had lost her soul. I sighed softly. She was, after all, her mother's daughter. Sophia, don't be like this. When you fell in love with William, I got over it, didn't I? You should go. Time will heal everything. I wrapped my arm around Anna and led her back into the house, not sparing Sophia another glance. Sophia left Montana, utterly heartbroken. She finally understood how Leo must have felt watching her fall in love with William. She regretted everything, but there was no second chance for her. Her Leo no longer belonged to her. Tears finally streamed down her face. After Sophia's visit, Anna became even more insecure. Everywhere we went, she'd ask, "Do you love me?" It was driving me crazy. I wished she would go back to being the cool, aloof woman I first met. "Leo, do you love me?" Here we go again. "Yes, yes, I love you," I said, trying to placate her. Maybe my answer was too half-hearted, because Anna's eyes started to well up. "You're lying." I tossed the remote aside and rushed to comfort her. "I'm not lying. I really do love you." "Only me?" I nodded. "Only you." I thought that would satisfy her, but Anna just scoffed. "Liar. You used to love Sophia. That's all in the past. The one I love most now is you." I wonder if Ms. Lin was satisfied with that explanation? Apparently not. "But you did love her before. Get lost. Is this ever going to end?" I stood up to go to the bedroom, and Anna followed, gently supporting me. "Leo, do you love me or not?" "I love you. I love you. I love you." I'm at my wit's end.